This is your election headquarters. On to our very first story. Presidential hopeful Jacob Osei says his government will institute a national electronic data infrastructure to track the life cycle of every Ghanaian from birth to death. This according to the only independent presidential candidate so far. He says it will help government decide on what needs to tackle based on the age differences. He spoke on Joy Prime's For Kids program, For Kids Paradise.
The first vision that we have is what to do to bring what we call socio-political stability. And that socio-political stability, yes, will actually bring all of us together. It will enable the country to become more stable. And then after we've been able to achieve that, then all other developmental issues can come in. One of the most important things that we want to do is what we call the National Electronic Data Infrastructure. With that National Electronic Data Infrastructure, what it does is that your data as an individual or citizen of Ghana, right from birth, it will track your life cycle as a child, going to school, completing your professions, all the properties that you have, and then at the end of the day, it will help the nation to develop.
Okay. Uncle Jacob, please, you know, children are the future leaders, the leaders of tomorrow or for tomorrow. So for the children, I'm pretty sure they want to know what you are going to do for them when you are voted or if you are voted into power. They want to know the good sides and the benefits, so they can also impact, they can give their parents an idea, because children have a positive impact on their parents when or if they vote during elections. So they want to know what you'll be doing for the children during elections, if you win.
The most important thing for any child in this modern age is the child's education. That is of paramount. And now, you know, per our Constitution, Article 25, it says that there must be free, compulsory, universal, basic education, which means that any child should be educated. Now, there are a lot of arguments going on here and there as to how to be able to implement that fully. I do not agree to the fact that only those who go to government schools should be helped, but what about those who also attend the private school? So what we are actually thinking of, for us to have a particular minimum amount for every child going to school, and that will be the child support to enable the child's parent to be able to look after them, whether you are attending a government school or a private school.
That was Jacob Osei, the independent candidate so far cleared by the EC to contest this year's election on For Kids Paradise. Now, they've been disqualified but haven't lost hope. Presidential aspirant of the All People's Congress, Hassan Ayariga, and Papa Kwesi Indom of the Progressive People's Party have refused to let go. Let's start off with Hassan Ayariga. He launched his campaign over the weekend at a shaman. Addressing the gathering, he said it was shocking for the commission, that's the Electoral Commission, to say he failed to identify himself because he is the most popular presidential aspirant in Ghana now, and insisted he is still in the race despite his disqualification. Hassan Ayariga was among the 12 presidential aspirants to be disqualified by the EC last week Monday because of failure to abide by CI 94, the regulations governing this year's elections. His disqualification, according to the EC, was based on failure to provide his home address and also having 2 of his subscribers endorse the forms of another presidential aspirant.
APC! Ayariga! Ayariga! APC! You all know that last Monday, the Electoral Commission announced the disqualification of some few political parties. The APC was the first political party that they mentioned. According to the woman, the electoral commissioner, the APC, Dr. Hassan Yerga, could not give the location of his home address. I think if you all listen very well, I am sure everybody knows Hassan Yerga, even if I didn't put my home address. APC, Ayerga, Ayerga. I was very upset because someone who has contested for the election of Ghana and has filled the form of the Electoral Commission, the same commission that gave me the voter ID card, now turn around to tell me, Dr. Hassan Ayerga, I cannot identify myself. Can you imagine? Can you imagine this? Is that the Ayerga they know or is another Ayerga they were looking for? Which Ayerga were they looking for? Is it APC Ayerga or another Ayerga they were looking for? If it is the APC Ayerga is more popular than any other presidential candidate in Ghana. APC. So how can Charlotte Esse say that she doesn't know Hassan Ayerga? Impossible. This is impossible. Impossible. And the Electoral Commission is telling us that because two have endorsed another political party, they are going to deny 432 people the opportunity to have a presidential candidate.
Let's stay on disqualified presidential candidates. Flag bearer of the Independent People's Party has handed over 3 of its members to the police CID for investigations. According to the EC, Mr. Akpalu was disqualified because the 3 subscribers had supported the nomination of another candidate. Mr. Akpalu spoke earlier on Joy News Desk.
If they went according to CN94, then that CN94 is problematic because, you see, let's look beyond today. Let's look into the future. Assuming the next time, I don't want MPP or NDC, neither of them, to be in the elections. Yeah, I'll just bribe somebody, get 3 or 2 subscribers from the MPP or NDC, and then I use it to fill my form.
Are you alleging bribery against the EC?
No, I'm saying something. I said I deliberately, if I want to destroy, are you okay? To destroy the election or to prevent another candidate from contesting, then I can easily use 2 subscribers from the other, or even 1 subscriber. If I get chance to 1 subscriber, I can use it to fill my form, and then it means that they disqualify both of us. So if it happens to MPP, how would that be? No. You see, what I'm trying to say, maybe you're not getting. They are disqualifying me based on the fact that they found 3 people subscribing to me and at the same time subscribing to another.
And that's the point I want to draw your attention to. Why do you think that another party might have done that against you?
No, they didn't do anything against me. I don't think they've done anything against me. But what I'm trying to say, the conclusion drawn by the EC, to me, is problematic. Because you can't just draw a conclusion like that. You should investigate before you come to conclusion. Because this one is shoddy, you know, because you've not asked any of the subscribers who they actually signed for. You've not testified whether their signatures, which one of them their signatures. And I'm not getting it. I'm not getting the whole thing. You know, the EC should admit that they mistakenly concluded on this matter without doing anything on it. So the mere on the face value, seeing somebody with 2 different signatures, and you concluded that all these paperwork are forgery and all those kind of stuff. I mean, it's not the best.
And this obviously is a legal argument. What is the IPP going to do? Yeah,
what IPP is doing or have done so far is to bring the people forward for them to testify to the whole public and also to the police and also to the EC themselves. Now, we can't do anything beyond this unless common sense doesn't prevail, because what we want the EC to do is to reverse their decision, because we have proved beyond reasonable doubt that we acquired this signature genuinely. So they have to deflate their egos and then go ahead and put us on the list. Other than that, we will go to court and we will place injunction on this. And we know very well that any reasonable judge will listen to us. The EC should also remember that, should be mindful of something, that they are managing public powers, they are managing public institutions. So they shouldn't do anything willingly to cause financial loss to the state. Are you okay? Because they did once, we know where Afenyo Markins took them to court and the state lost over 300 million. That could have been avoided, you understand? And if they continue with this stance, it means they don't care because the monies are not coming from their pockets. It's time that we have to hold them responsible.
Still on election-related news, Deputy Minister of Agriculture in charge of livestock, Dr. Hannah Bissiw, has launched a campaign to retain the Tana South parliamentary seat for the governing National Democratic Congress. Joy News was at the campaign launch in Techimentia. Here are some sights and sounds.
MPP Nina Ojina Ewo Fideman. MPP for candidates.
Hey!
The NPP candidate has been given an amount of 800 million cedis when he is not a shareholder or a customer.
Youth organizer, NPP youth organizer, what say?
I want the bank officials to tell me when he deposited any amount which warranted a loan of 800 million Ghana cedis. When I complained, the youth organizer of the MPP says I'm an illiterate. I'm daring the bank to call a shareholders meeting because I'm a shareholder. And I have shares worth 4,000 Ghana cedis with the bank. The minister says we should always speak the truth. So, I am telling the truth.
Minister say,
The Electioneering Security Task Force of the Ghana Police Service has also been telling Joy News about some of the things officers are expected to do during the elections. Chief Superintendent Dr. Benjamin Agozo is Director of Operations and Coordinator of the Election Security Task Force.
December 7, we are really prepared. Not only the police service, it's also the National Election Security Task Force. And as you are already aware, it comprises all the security agencies, including the EC. We have started this preparation since last year. And it will interest you to know that last year we had a kind of training amongst all the security officers at Pualugu, which was one of the best things we did, because then we wanted an integrated approach to whatever we were going to do, because there could be fire, there could be arson, there could be anything, and then all of us may have to move in. We've also recognized that enforcing the law alone may not solve many problems, all right? So we thought that we should also, in addition to enforcing the law, add some kind of dialogue with political parties, with all stakeholders, and ensure that all of them are involved in the process.
And all of this is to inform them about what?
Not just to inform them, but also to solicit their views, their support, and then also their advice, and to bring them on board with the understanding that peace or a peaceful election is a function of the interaction of all our efforts. And this is not just done at the national level, it's also being done at the community level. And you will also observe that when you go to the communities, we have the community policing unit that is moving from churches to mosques to communities to chiefs to elders to opinion leaders in the communities and talking to them about the need for peaceful election. Now, We, in addition, have come up with other steps, such as even providing ourselves with some election booklet for all the security agencies. And first of all, 3 important documents: the election booklet, which we will give to all security agency senior officers to read through and go through a kind of training, and as a result, after the training, they will also go back to educate or sensitize their other personnel.
So is it a kind of code?
It's a kind
police code for the election.
Yeah, it's a kind of booklet which tells them about what they should, what is expected of the security agencies and what they should know about the elections generally.
The do's and don'ts.
Then, in addition to that booklet, we have what we call aid memoir, which is a smaller version of that booklet, which contains the do's and don'ts for every security officer who will be at the polling station.
Each one of them.
Everybody is having it. And the third document, which is very important, is the Incident and Public Order Management Manual. Now, why are we going for that manual? We want to harmonize all approaches to public incidents and public order. We didn't rest there. We are in the process of publishing kind of flyers for the public. What is expected of the public when it comes to security issues?
Still on the elections, the New Patriotic Party has raised some concerns about the election transfer process. Freddie Blay is the acting chairman of the NPP.
We were not briefed properly. Indeed, we were not happy. It's one of the issues that we had raised, that all being equal in this modern age, that e-transmission of the result should be the order of the day. But it should not be done like as if it's administrative. All stakeholders should be involved from various stages, from the polling station to the constituency level, to the region, and indeed to Accra. It appears that we were not too much involved. According to them, they themselves did their own assessment, and they had people to bid for a contract, and they decided to truncate it. We were not involved at all throughout this, but ordinarily we think that that should have been the best way of going about it. Instead of if they are going to do it on their own, how are they going to do it? Who is involved? What will be the processes? What is the integrity of it all? These are some of the questions that, as I talk to you now, may be agitating our minds, and not only ours, but various stakeholders and those who are involved in the elections.
Are you presenting this concern to the Electoral Commission, or are you leaving it at your level so something is done about it?
No, we won't leave anything at various levels to the EC alone. We have IPAC, we've expressed some of such concern. We want them to be addressed. We are still negotiating, we are talking with them. But maybe we will not be satisfied totally. But it doesn't mean that we are not involved. We will do what it is in the best interest of this country. We will make sure that there will be a fair election, and the result will be what Ghanaians want it to be, and not what some other people, officials or non-official parties or non-official, will wish they would like to do or have it done. We will make sure that it's fair.
Meanwhile, the NPP is having a difficult time raising money. That's according to Director of Fundraising of the party, Ken Oforiatta.